Welcome back to Factorio. I'm the 80s Gamer, and in the last episode, we finally managed to get ourselves some robots. So we have the power armor, we have two roboports. I'd like to get another set of legs. We have some personal solar panels, which is great news. I have 1 zillion roboports in my inventory, which is probably way more than we need, but I didn't realize there were going to be quite that many sitting around uh, in the mall. But we connected our robot network, and pretty much we're ready to um, kind of keep moving in terms of um, uh, the game. But we're going to need to be doing a little bit of grinding. And one of the things I was thinking we could do, so yeah, let's take all 36 logistics robots, and we're going to put some of these guys into the network. Good. Perfect. We can remember only um, we can only sorry um, we can only manage 20 robots. So if you use if we take a look here, you can see that each one only gives us 10 robots. So there's no point in having a ton of robots in our inventory. But it does mean we can start building out some like requests and other stuff like that. But you can see green circuits are demolished. Um, Iron is really hurting. And what I think we're going to find when we get down to the other end of the world, and one thing I want to do is make sure that roboports all have power. Um, those guys are saying no signal. Is that because this guy doesn't have power yet? How bad is our power? No, I want to... Oh, you're trashing. That's fine. Our power network's okay. We got... Well, we can burst high, it looks like. Roboports can really suck down the juice. They're emptying all of the stuff that we have in our inventory. Very cool. Well, let's hang out here for a minute. And, we can start doing some other logistics requests that I wanted to show you guys. So let's get on that. So let's start with a group. Let's call it belts. And let's define our belt stuff. So I would like to have, at minimum, 400 belts and no more than, say, 800. No, I'm going to say 900. All right, let's do all things yellow first. No more 50, no more than 100. And we're not using, I'm not going to use orange or yellow splitters anymore. That's just sort of pointless. And we're going to do the same thing with red belts, limit ourselves to 900. And except this time we are going to have these guys. Oops, nope. We would like 50 to 100. Perfect. And this will leave us space for blue belts when we get there. Is there any reason we shouldn't do, you know what, let's make this belts and inserters, right? There's no reason not to. So let's do yellow. Let's make sure we always have 100, no more than, say, 200. And let's do blues. Let's always have 100, no more than 250. Reds, let's always have, let's do 50 to 100. And greens, I'd say 50 to 100 of these is fine as well. All right, that's all good. These guys are not showing up. I don't know why those guys are. What's going on? Oh, because they're in steel chests right now, because of the way the passive providers work, but we don't have passive providers yet. That's a bit of a puzzle. How did 36 of these get in there? That seems like a misclick at some point. You can have these. Okay, so let's see. There's a couple ways we can solve that. I think the best way temporarily is just going to be to drop red chests on here, and we're just going to have to remember. It's not what we're supposed to do, but we just have to remember that that's there. Robo ports. They should be going crazy somewhere. Here they are. I took way more than I should have. Let's keep 10 on us, maybe? We need a place for them in our thing down here. I'm going to take off this, and I will put robo ports there. No, that's not what... I don't think that's how that works. The filter was a fun thing. Okay, there. All right, so... Yes, we don't have next level assemblers left. That's going to require next level silence. We're working on the rocket silo. Anyway, let's finish doing our requests. Okay, so that's those are in. Let's do assemblers, miners. All right, so are we, this is a big question, are we ready to give up the basic assemblers? We probably are. So let's zero these out and let's knock these in like that. Oops, we got to do them separately. That was silly. There's those. And miners. Let's make sure we always have 50, but a big build you could do 150. Let's do that. Is there anything else? Yeah, there's some other stuff we should. I think I'm going to do oil here too. So let's only have 20 pumps. Offshore pumps. Let's always have some of those. And let's have at least 10. No more than 50. These chemical plants, I would always like at least 20. 80 is a lot. No more than 40? Sure. That's all of those guys. I will take a stack of furnaces to make sure we always have those. And let's see, let's make sure we have none of these in case we pick up any of those other guys going down the list. I also would like to fix the thing on our chest thing. Let's make sure we have no more than 50 of these. I don't want to end up with extra iron in case anything goes wrong. Right. Let's see, what else? What other kind of section, what other kind of stuff do I want to make sure we have? Oh, trains. Yep. Okay. So, no more than 5 engines. 5, but up 10 cars is okay. Fluid wagons is the same deal. I can't imagine needing anything more than that, but I don't want it to break if it does. Stations, 1 stack. We're not ever going to build more than one of those. Signaling, I am going to allow up to 100 signals because I don't want to throw those away in case we pick up an extra set. Chain signals, definitely not more than 1 stack. Tracks. So tracks are tricky. We get minimum 400. Infinite is probably too many. I'm going to limit us at 1200 just because, you know. You know what? Another thing that would be good to have here is pipes. 200, 400 is okay, or do we want to 300? 200 now that we have this operational is probably fine. Undergroundies. I would like 100. 250 is too many. Gives us another line. Is there anything else on this thing that we... Oh, power. Yeah. Let's do power. So minimum 100, but we can have 150. I will take minimum 50. You can have an extra, though, of those. Substations. These were critical in the space exploration pack. Let's grab those. I probably want to change that, actually, but that's okay. Wood power poles. Is it time to end their lives? I guess it is. I'll tell you what, no more than 50. So I don't, I definitely don't want them going over. Tanks, that doesn't go in this grouping. Should go here. 50. No more than 50. That's way too many otherwise. The other pump is necessary. Oops. Autosave. This pump, a stack of 50 is funny. I don't think we need more than that. Let's make sure we always have those. And name this group trains. All right. What else? Looking for other little odds and ends of things that can go sort of a smorgasbord of things. No more than 50 of either robot. We have only a few construction bots at the moment. That's fine. Let's see. Stone brick. Yep. I'm going to let you have one stack, but no more than a stack. Stone brick. Same thing with concrete. I don't want to end up with filling up my inventory, so let's limit it. We could have solar panels if we wanted. We could have accumulators. These are not a bad idea. We're not using them yet, but we will. Eventually I want to switch to electric furnaces. We don't have the power capabilities yet. Okay, other things I don't want to store in my inventory. Sort of the trashy stuff, right? I don't want, like, no batteries. Do I want to set up things for these? Maybe I don't. Spoilage. We're not going to carry spoilage around. Well, what if I'm going to allow up to one stack? I suddenly had a thought about it. Okay, all of these fluids could be technically put there. Weapons. I would like to have, say, let's keep 300 potentially out there on the off chance. That doesn't belong here. Can we move it? How do we get rid of it? Right click on it. That's cool. Let's do a military group. That's what I'm suddenly thinking. So let's have 100. You can have 200 grenades. And we just said ammo, we're going to do 300, but you could have 800 if you wanted. I would like a stack of radars always. I'd like a stack of turrets always. I'm going to allow a little bit extra if I want. Don't have laser turrets yet. Those are flamethrower turrets. I think that's a no. Flamethrower, rocket launcher. Yeah, we're not there yet. Okay. That's good. We've built our logistics setup there. There's a couple more chests to probably mark out though. We need passive provider chests, turrets, and ammunition. Both need to be in the network and provided, and that will allow them to bring us stuff. Look at that. There they go. Cool. I want to bring the network all the way to the end of the bus. So let's keep doing that. I don't want it there. How far can it go? Can it go here? Yes, that gives it a good path. That's fine. And then I think up here is fine. Doesn't have power. We don't have a good solution for powering down the bus, by the way. But there's some. Okay, and I want to keep bringing the network this way, all the way to the beginning of the bus all the way to, say, Smelting Land. But we don't have power there. Now, this needs to go all the way to the train network. So that's part of what I'm doing, if you're wondering. Is it's super important that the main train station have access to the logistics network. Yep, there's fine. Gonna need power here. And the reason you want the main train station is A, for the reasons that A, you ride on it. Right? So that's one really solid reason to have it. I want to watch our power, 38. It spikes when we put a new one on the network. Okay. How far can we go before it dies? Do one there. Do a second one here. This one doesn't have power, but he can. Okay. And I'm worried about power, but only for a second. Did we end up building additional power? I thought I knew I thought about it. Doesn't look like we built it. We have 38 solar panels though, which would be pretty interesting to put down. Why? What's blinking? Oh, probably those guys were not in the... well, it's not exactly useful at this moment. Can we take those all the way now? Sure can. All right, great. Okay, yeah. Iron, that's our problem. It's complaining. Looks like it's complaining about going cleanup. Let's see, our construction bots will go and knock those out, right? Yeah, those are jobs that need doing. Quite know why all those guys are flashing, but that's okay. We're not going to make steel this way anymore. So you can go away. You are a passive provider. And it looks like we might need a robot port down here. Okay. Okay, there we go. We're going to have to set up recycling for a ton of stuff, but we're not doing it yet, and that's fine. All right. A little bit more storage, probably. Let's lay these down just because they'll be helpful. All right. So what it looks like to me is steel's demolished, and copper might be... is not as bad off as I thought it was for some reason. What's going on with copper? It's not exactly reaching the end of the bell, but it's not sucking. It's just not totally and completely full, it seems like. So maybe there might be a solution here where we can just kind of do a move like this and get copper all the way there. No idea if this will work, but we'll give it a try. Then maybe we throw some red belts. Let's put a red under groundy. Red belt. A red guy. More red belt. Honestly, iron's the real issue. We go halfway up. Should be enough. There. These get... How come these did not get upgraded? Unclear. Looks like we're missing one here as well. All right, so there's a little bit extra that ought to keep that'll keep copper going, but iron obviously is just shoot up, and we're not getting any more iron. So we need to go get iron. before I do that, I'm going to grab... Did I save myself any of those things? I did not. How many of these can I make? One. Yeah. All right, so we're going to trash you. You have to have some stone or those small things. And of course, stone gets trashed immediately. So, yeah. You have steel furnaces, red boxes. You have stone, but if I pick it up, you'll immediately get trashed. Maybe I shouldn't trash all of the stone while we're still on power from... Shouldn't get trashed immediately. It didn't. Okay. 3, 4. One thing we can do now that we have robots, I just realized, that we couldn't do before. Grab the deconstruction planner and we do something that looks like this. A little bit worried about power, but we knew that was coming. It's not a big deal. Okay, we're going to deconstruct all of those. This, that, this. The bots, there's not that many bots in the network yet, right? Because we're still building them, but they'll help out. And that'll create some nice space for us. And the reason I was doing that was just because I was thinking we could, like, you know, drop a few solar panels in here. Do I have a blueprint for this? Solar cube? I do have a solar cube. Okay. Do we have the ability to make those power poles? We cannot. Bet the mall does, though. So if we put this here, it will connect up once we finish it. Technically, it's in the network, so as long as we paste the mall and it has all those things, which it probably does. Rotate? Substations? Are they here? Yes. They're not being made. Oh, they're a recipe change. They're a recipe change. Okay. How do I want to deal with this recipe change? Super fun. I love recipechanges.com. I don't know if is copper being used? Yes. Not there. Oh, this guy's pulling for steel. He's not pulling copper. Is copper used at all here? Yes, it's used here to make this copper wire that goes there. Could we do anything fancier to make it work? I'm sure we could. We just need to be fancier. How? How are we fancier? This could move one over, but a red inserter will insert it there, which doesn't help us. I could loop it around and hack it into here. A red inserter here That might work, actually. We dropped it. We dropped it like that onto an undergroundy that popped out there. And then this guy goes like this. And this guy gets deleted. Instead goes like that. Then we have accumulated. We have, yes, awesome. Is it delivering it to me? I don't know what it's doing. It's picking them up. It's picking them up. Okay, well, cool. It'll work. And we'll have some, and it'll build that solar thing. All right, so onward and upward is our goal at this point. We need iron. Where are we going to get our iron? We have 24 million right here. And if we just build out this thing, we could build a iron train and truck it in by the buttload. Is there any other iron that's massive? 34 million, 32. Yeah, this 24 is going to last us a long time. And I think he's the temporary solution. Ultimately, it would be nice to be able to have like bring in iron and steel. But if this is the closest iron we can see, I don't really have good visibility off in this direction, which might be worth checking out. But let's go do that. I think it'll be, you get to see me make a train station or whatever, and we'll do it. So let's go do a little bit of grinding in that nature. We're going to need concrete. We'll have to deal with concrete too. That's okay. We can make concrete at the beginning of the bus. That's my current thinking. All right. So how does this... Oh, shoot. Sorry, everybody. Legs. I was going to see if I could get a second set of legs. That'll make us run faster. There might be some down at the bottom of the world. 8. Right. 4. Which I'm going to half again. Half again. Perfect. And then we should be able to open our suit. Put a second set of legs in there. Yeah, we move a bunch faster. Not ideal, but we're doing good. All right. Yeah. So you guys are going to learn how this works. What else? Hold on, before we go, let's make sure we need to prep. I'm definitely getting ahead of myself. Let's prep for such a journey. So, first of all, I thought we had requested roboports. Doesn't look like it. This is military. Doesn't look like we're requesting roboports. We have robots though. That's a boo-boo. Let's make sure we have roboports because we don't want that. All right, power will have miners. I want to pick up electric miners and bring more than the normal amount with us. I'd like to have 150. We're probably carrying what? There we go. That limits us to 150. Could move the rest into our trash slots, which will get carted off somewhere, which is fine. Red undergroundies. I would like some additional. Let's bring a bunch of additional red undergroundies. I'm going to bring 100 those. We can actually turn off personal logistics so that they stop collecting stuff from us, which will let us have a few extra things in our trash slot, which is probably good. I'll forget that that's on later and cursing, and you guys will be laughing at me because you'll be like, ha ha ha, you forgot, and it'll be true. Tracks, railroad tracks, that's down here. We need more than what we have. Perfect. Don't really know I have the car. Don't really anticipate using it, and it's taking up space in our inventory, but I'm going to hang on to it because I'll forget about it otherwise. All right, let's cruise on up here to the train station, and the fastest way probably over there, we could run, but we're not going to, is we're going to shoot on over to plastic. It's right next door. The plastic train is not here, but we can tell it to come here, and it should be here quite quickly. Then we'll jump in and be good to go. And unlike last time, we will be able to build much quicker. Can we move the car from there to there maybe? All right, here it comes. Let's get on board. Didn't realize we were out of plastic here at the main base. That also is going to slow down stuff. We're using plastic faster than we produce it. Oh, that's something we could do. I don't know how long it will last for us, but let's pick up these and move them, say, here. And in this spot, we're going to pick up green inserters, because green inserters are actually better at unloading. Yeah, I can't reach. Bots will take care of it, I think. It's in the bot. It should be in the bot network. It's giving me an error that it's not, but we'll see. Yeah, the second car is not gonna be good enough, but that's okay. We are close. Let's just go now, so that we're not waiting forever. And either the bots will build it or they won't. Either way, we got some plastic out of the system, and that's all good. We can actually increase our plastic production pretty easily here, if that is something that we want to do. How full are these chests? Yes, either not, because we don't really have enough plastic. But it is pretty easy for us to. Oh, that's fascinating. Did we have some that were not functioning? It does look that way. What is happening? No, what is your... Oh, what happened? I came over here and showed all this to you guys, and probably you put in the comments on the last video, hey, goofball. But you don't realize that you don't have any. Also looks like... Are we short on petroleum gas? Yes, we are short on petroleum gas. Why are we short on petroleum gas? I thought I had that perfectly balanced. Well, we should be a little bit short. But not totally short. Huh. Puzzling. Hmm. That is a puzzle. Why are we short? Hmm. That's frustrating to me. It's not really what we're supposed to be doing, but is oil a problem? No, we have tons of crude. So 4 of these should produce 180. We should be producing 180 a second, yeah? No, every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds we produce 180. Oh, that's right. Every 5 seconds we produce 180. Meanwhile, you use up 20 every 1 second. Ah, yes. So my ratio is off by a lot. I'm going to stop it all for a second, but I think I can fit one more in here. Ending up with dual power poles, which is fine. It's not, but... yep. Can you just give us power the right way? There. I bet that's still not enough. But, yeah. That should at least ensure we're making more plastic. And we have plenty of fuel. I have an idea. What if we pipe in a second pump here? let's say goes like this. And then we use our little green wire guy here. We go from here to here. And we tell him enable disable. And let's do petroleum gas is less than... Turn it on if it's less than 10,000. No, that's half. Less than 5,000. That'll just throw extra from here up into there. Oh, but that'll stop... It's not really what we want to do. It's this one. Okay, so... Delete that pump. Fun idea. New plan. Still want a pump. And what we want is this. We actually want to limit it. We want to make sure that we're making train fuel or we're going to be super sad, right? So what we really want to do is tie this pump to this jet and then do enable disable. It's still petroleum gas. But let's say it's more than, greater than or equal to 5,000. So as long as we have some for producing, as long as we have some for producing the fuel, we'll contribute over here. And it should be pretty, we could easily add another one, I think, if we do something like this, right? We should just be able to go like that really easily. That'll easily add yeah, this will quickly add look, there's 3 refineries on there that will quickly help boost the amount of available petroleum gas to us, although really, well, we just dumped a bunch in, so I don't know. But all the plastic makers making plastic? Now they all look at that. All the plastic makers are making plastic, and the train's here, and all of a sudden I want faster inserters. Right, so where's... Can I just do an upgrade planner like this? But then these are too small. These are too slow. I really don't have a good... I should go like research how much plastic we're using. Be sad and grab more red belts, but that's okay. It's not really what we're here for. Is that somehow supposed to be a blue belt? How do we fix that? You just overrace it. Okay. There we go. That'll get them there faster. Later, we could upgrade these guys to greens, which means that the train loads quicker. Actually, let's do it anyway. Eventually, I would hope this will mean the train spends very little time here, if we actually get ahead, which I don't know that we will. But if we do not want one blue belt. That would be... Which belt thinks it's getting upgraded? I don't know. Weird. Okay. Seems good. Everybody's working full speed. We'll give a few more. Just make sure we're good. All right. That's all fine. Let's go work on our train station that we're actually here for. So the very first thing that does need to happen, so you guys can see, is we're going to leverage our 17 or 25 construction bots. However, I have spoilage in my inventory. Don't want it. I'm actually not sure where that came from. That's okay. Let's build some stuff. This all the way built out. Well, we don't need it all the way built out, but we need it at least built out as far as the iron patch. If we were really fancy, I could someday, maybe if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments for figuring out how to do it. It should be theoretically possible to like, we could collect miners automatically. So we could like, the dead miners could be set up and deployed. And I would say some of the super awesome Factorio players who I am still aspiring to be like, like for example, say like a Catherine of Sky. I've got to be able to see what's going on there. So there's a way to make a deconstruction planner that you say is trees and rocks only. And then you do like this, and you can be like, I just want to be able to see. I hate to do it, but like, I can't tell if do we have tracks? And I really don't want I don't want to like discover later, oh, I never got around to doing the tracks. Obviously we can paste again, but that looks like there's a biter hanging out, at least according to our radar, in the middle of that. And there's something potentially new here. I don't remember seeing that nest. A little waterway. Yep, to claim this 19 million coal, we're going to have to fight them. But that's not our goal for today. So let's head off for what our goal for today is. Because we have this giant patch of coal here and the one next to it. But that's not what we're doing. We are going to take all this iron back to base, and it's going to be amazing. So let me teach you how we do this. I have a blueprint for it, and I'm going to show it to you a little bit. It's called Skinny Miner. I'm going to open it first. The key thing here, it looks pretty straightforward. What's nice about it, it's called a skinny miner, is because it's 6 miners. This power pole does all of these power poles. But the big thing that I've always wondered about, or if you want to know, it's called, you'll see how it works in a second, is snap to grid. Grid position is absolute. So what this basically means is that these will all line up. Skinny mining, you'll see how it works. I can't just place it anywhere I want. See how it sort of skips around? But that's okay, because watch this. We're going to place it here where only the corner is, and look, it's only going to place the miners some of the places. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drop this guy essentially everywhere. And if a miner can get there, great. And if it can't, then it doesn't put it down. See how that works? So we can basically make sure that everywhere we go, and it's all just tiles. I can click and drag if I want. This is way more iron than we need. Don't really know how we're doing on... We still seem like... Well, I was going to say we're holding up on miners, but I bet we are not. So I'm going to pause there for a second. We can try to do a little bit of cleanup here, and save ourselves some... I do find it worth it sometimes to, especially when you're doing a build this big, to do a little bit of like homework to clean up some of the edges. So, we're not using, like I'm not using this belt right here. We're going to need every single belt. Got a lot of bots doing a lot of stuff they're trying. You guys are doing great. I need to be able to see a little bit here. Can you guys take care of that? It's great. Robot speed would definitely be on the list of things I would like to research. Are there any available? Nope, takes purple science for the next one, it looks like. And here's a yellow science. Yep. Not doing any of that. Uranium processing we don't get until. Sure, we'll take the train. Research speed. Mining productivity, those all seem good. And now we can see and verify. And this is important. You'll see why in a second. Once we finish building this stuff out. this actually might be a really good time to do a little speeder-upper where I compress the time for you guys. So instead of just sort of doing a cut, which I sometimes do, and then boop it and it's all done, I'm going to do like a hyperlapse where we increase the time, and I will do a post gameplay commentary so that you guys are getting commentary about what's going on, but we're doing it at a much faster rate so you don't have to watch as long. Here we go. So the first thing we need to do is finish out all of the miners that we've built out here that we've got in our mining patch. So I'm going to work on doing that first. And as you can see, the bots are flying around like crazy, getting that done for us. We need to also connect all of the belts from all the different miners and all the different rows of miners to try to organize them all into one nice strip so that they can be easily fed into a train station. And since I really like to do 4-car trains, that's what I'm going to be setting up here. And as you watch, I'm just merging belts just to make everything easier for us. I have a belt balancer book. Happy to provide it to you if you want it. However, it's all blue belts, so now I need to build it's an upgrade planner, but I'm actually using it to downgrade because I need to downgrade all those blues into reds. All right, now we're going to lay out the train station. Just going to do a simple side rail. Let's name it something practical so we know what it is in the future when we're looking at it. Give it a color. I like my engines to sort of be the color of the resources. Right. So to prevent confusion and problems later, you can actually put filters on train cars, and I have a whole blueprint book of basically all the base materials that are already pre-built cars with filters applied to them. So you see me putting those down, and that way basically you cannot load anything but iron into this train. And that's helpful if your train ever ends up at the wrong station for whatever reason. Just doing a simple side rail train station, and now we need to provide a go around because we're doing right-hand drive. So build out the turnaround, put all our signals down. If you're having trouble with train signals, there's some great tutorials online. I don't know if I could make a great one. And I still get it wrong occasionally. If you see me getting it wrong, please feel free to comment. All right, grab a little fuel. Now remember, in this playthrough, we're trying something new. I'm trying this idea where instead of refueling all the trains at the main base, which I've done in every other playthrough that I've done, instead I have, I'm having a refuel interrupt that is supposedly, what's supposed to happen is when the trains get low on fuel, they will automatically go to this refueling station that I've built right there at oil. All right, we've turned the miners on. Our belt balancer is working, and we're going to build a loader. We can use blue inserters to load the chests in general, especially with only red belts. The green inserters, though, are important, the bulk inserters, because they help deliver, they help load the train faster so that it gets off to where its destination. We want to load the train and unload the train as fast as we possibly can, since that's essentially wasted time, especially when there's enough resources sitting there. So we're going to hop in the train and head back to the main base, or the main train station. Now we don't have an iron unload station yet, so we're going to stop and we're going to build one of those. Going to use my blueprint book and my curve that I built. Totally worth doing. I highly recommend you at least build one curve segment and one straight segment, minimum. Some people build whole intersections. My hero, Catherine of Sky, does it that way. Now, this is foolish. In editing, I can say this. This is not a good train unloading setup. It's been a while since I played, and I completely forgot how you unload trains. So yeah, this is a bad setup, and don't remember if I fix it in this video, but I will try to remember to fix it in like between sessions, because after this episode, I'm gonna need to do some grinding for you guys so that it's like actually interesting content, because I don't feel like just doing these sort of rote repeatable builds is all that helpful. I ran out of stuff, so I gotta scoot down here to the to the mall, and grab some more steel chests. And some robots, apparently. I feel like there's not enough robots in the network. That's also something I really need to fix between episodes. You want to have an automated setup where the um, the network itself controls the inserters to drop more logistic and construction bots into your network. I feel like there's a sweet spot for sort of performance and what you get done, and it's probably around 250 to 500. As you get further into the game and bots can carry more things, then sort of you don't need as many bots. But if you're asking for 800 belts and each bot can only carry one, you need a lot of bots, obviously. Whereas if each bot is carrying 5, then all of a sudden you need 5 times less. All right, we're going to hook up our 2 new lines that we created. And I think we're going to send the train on its way. Here, it's helpful when you're laying this stuff out to be able to see it. Of course, the first thing I'm going to notice is because of the way I did this, all of the iron is being inputted or outputted on a single belt. And so this is sort of a poor man's solution to this problem. Not necessarily recommended, but it'll work. All right, a little bit of priority. What we want to do here is make sure that we're using up the iron patches that we have in our base before we use up, before we bring it in from the train, just because we'll get that space back and we can use it to put down additional smelting arrays and things of that nature. It's also a good idea to finally, we have stone, we've been using stone furnaces, but we have steel furnaces being built in the mall. So it makes good sense to upgrade the furnaces. And then once we upgrade the furnaces, then we really need to upgrade the belt lines for those smelting arrays. Those arrays are technically meant to be upgraded to reds. So that's what's happening, is that it should be able to produce one red belt of the material, whether it's iron or copper. Steel's a little bit more complicated, but long-term goal is to do steel via outposts and electric furnaces, but to do that, we'll need to be a nuclear power. And on Space Age, nuclear power is locked essentially behind space. So probably our next episode is going to space and setting up space science. It's probably not worth another episode until then. But to get to space, you need steel, and steel requires a lot of iron, so that was sort of the whole point of outposting our first iron outpost here. And as you can see, I'm also expanding our smelting array, checking on our train. Fills up super fast, which is great. All right, let's go check on power. I think that was my concern here, is how are we? Yep, clearly it is. Yeah, we're going to try to have to eke out this steam power a little bit longer just to get us to nuclear. Could do a little bit more with solar. I have a nice solar cube, and again, we have both accumulator. Oh, we have all these pieces in the network, so the bots can actually build them for us if we find some space. Doesn't hurt us to slap down those little cubes. They just help out a little. We're not facing pollution, so the the steam to solar transition can be huge if you have sort of normal biter rules on and the enemies are attacking you constantly and being evolved by the pollution that's hitting them. But of course, we have that off. All right, gonna do another mall paste, upgrade us to the to the next piece of the mall. Start getting that stuff laid down. We can't build most of it yet, but it's nice to sort of have it all there and seeing and just sort of, especially some of the pieces, they take a long time to build. And so I was hoping to just get things started, get the buffers built, that kind of thing. Again, we have very small production of things, so that's where we kind of are. Looks like iron is demolished, so we're going to have to deal with that eventually here soon. All right, I think this is where I realized maybe that accumulators are not being created. So my little solar cubes don't work because we can't, we don't have any accumulators in the bot network. So these are important for space, at least they were in the space exploration mod. So I'm assuming that they'll be important in this one. So we're building a supply of accumulators, get them going slowly. Again, our battery production is not amazing or any of that sort of thing, but this will help us get things going and putting a new port so that our solar cubes do actually work because obviously they weren't being built when I laid it down. Red circuits are super slow, and I think I'm actually going to do the wrong thing here maybe. And let's see, I'm not tackling, I'm just upgrading green circuits. We definitely need more green circuits. And with the green circuit array, we can just sort of make it longer. The red circuit array, you need to do it a little bit differently. And I think I hacked it. I'm not sure. We'll see. Don't remember exactly. But copper's hurting. I think we're going to run out of copper, the ability to grow our copper here very soon. Get some research tagged. All right. So just trying to do some mini upgrades around the base. We've managed to build out the iron train. You've gotten to see me do all that stuff. We're clearly running low on coal, and I'm worried about energy, which I know. I'm going to do some grinding in between episodes, I think, to try to sort of get us in a little bit of a better position, maybe boost our copper, boost our few things, and try to get us ready for space science, because I really want that to be our next episode. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you didn't mind that we sped things up here, and I will see you in the next one.